everybody, welcome to Otaku Saga. Hi, I'm Zero.
I'm DK.
And I'm Rizzo, and today on Anime Reaction, we watched the 5th episode of Kuma Miko.
If you want to see our reaction to the 5th episode of Kuma Miko, check the link in the description below. It's there.
And please leave a comment down below. We absolutely love hearing from you.
And feel free to subscribe to Otaku Saga, because you're definitely going to want to, especially after the last scene of this episode.
Oh yeah, and likes help a lot.
Please support the official release. We now return you to your regularly scheduled idiots. Ding!
So let's go ahead and talk about this episode first.
Okay, we'll talk about this episode first.
So on this episode, it was a direct continuation of what happened at the end of last episode.
Right.
Where it shows Hibiki and Machi coming back from the store in the new threads.
And
that opening.
And boy, oh boy, did the going down the gauntlet of pervs.
That's the entire town right there.
They totally stole some like 80s music.
Yeah,
it was like a.
I even recognize the song, but I can't place the lyrics.
Yeah, it was straight out of some 80s or 90s teen movie.
Yeah. It was so perfect for that scene, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then just the overall savagery.
Yeah, well, so
The
then
punch.
After that, we got a scene where one of the boys from the first episode misbehaved. So his father took him to a cave where they had Natsu set up to scare the living daylights out of the kid. And boy, did that work.
But not in the way one would think.
Right.
The bear using modern appliances is somehow just scarier than being locked in the cage with a bear.
But he's trying to comply with the Women's Association.
Right.
Scary broads.
Right. No mess with them. Don't mess with them.
No matter what anime a women's association are in, they're scary. Especially the one in Bleach.
And then the scene following that one
got a little bit serious.
With Hibiki and
First off, Hibiki's re-entrance into this episode,
epic
and on point.
And how did she hear them?
How did she?
Because she
find
just drove up from who knows where.
Don't question greatness.
Way far away, and just interjected straight into the conversation.
Right as Yushio was about to say her name.
Boom! Here she comes like Stig-chan and Bakuman.
Nope.
Also, perfect sliding stop.
Yeah.
And stuck with her helmet most of the time.
Right. Only to hide her embarrassment.
But
Sundara intensifies.
And how?
Sundara up to 11.
12.
Yeah.
Let's just charge on in with the motorcycle, keep her helmet on, hide her embarrassment, hide her blushing by pinching her leg when she takes the helmet off.
Ow. And then Miko's obliviousness.
And Machi.
Machi.
Yeah.
Machi. Right.
Miko's her profession. It's okay.
Machi's obliviousness. Clearly, that runs in the fucking family.
Yeah.
However, I also wanted to mention Yoshio's, I guess, ADD. That's the only thing I could think that it
When
was.
he was playing with
Basically,
the curtains.
the conversation bored him, so he glazed over, and then he went and did something else.
Yeah, playing with the curtains or just random shit like that.
Playing with the curtains, playing with the offerings.
I do have ADD, but I'm not that bad.
I've met some people that are that bad.
I think I used to be that bad when I was a kid. It was always funny and endearing, but I'm not that bad now. How does a man survive?
Right.
So this time around, I think Hibiki's abusiveness on Machi is a little bit more understandable.
It's a little bit more
definitely
slapstick.
more comical. Yeah, more slapstick, more comical in this one.
Yeah.
The reason why in the last episode it kind of kind of put me off a little bit was just like the sheer.
It just appeared more malicious and violent.
Yeah.
Instead of just what
malicious
are you doing?
is really a good. Yeah, malicious is really a good word for it. Because like straight up, the scene that she's introduced, she smashes Machi's head into a wooden pillar.
Yeah,
and then proceeds to kick her in the back while she's down.
Yeah, last time I saw something like that was like the courtroom scene in Attack on Titan or one of the later Splinter Cell games.
Yeah,
not a comedy anime.
Yeah, it didn't come across to me as humorous.
Yeah.
In this one, it was a lot more slapsticky.
Because she actually had a reason to be angry.
Sooner intensified.
Yeah.
But she's kind of doing sort of like stretching cheeks and.
Actually, no, she wasn't.
Oh.
No, she wasn't at all. She was doing this.
Alright, so the pinching cheeks thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
She had her by her face jammed against the wall like this.
Yeah.
But this is a lot more funnier than that. So.
Like any way she could have done it would have been fine. It's just the reason why she did it is because of her embarrassment of what she was doing, or no, actually it was Natsu who said Hibiki likes Yoshio, and
screamed it out.
Because of that, Machi is now a witness to the fact that she likes Yoshio, and so she needs to be silenced. There's a reason for the insanity, and that's why it's comical.
Yeah.
But we'll just see her.
And she also, when she was doing it, it wasn't like she was doing anything that would cause permanent damage either. Because, grabbing somebody's head and going bam against a wooden pillar, that can cause some serious damage.
Yeah.
You can kill a person like that.
It was just like squeezing her cheeks, like you little brat.
Squeezing her cheeks, while in real life that wouldn't be funny in the slightest.
I've actually had my jaw broken like that. Fractured. In
slapstick comedy, especially animated, it doesn't come across as that serious.
It's fine.
Or like hitting Yoshio in the stomach.
Yeah.
It's fine, Slamming somebody's head into a wooden pillar, it was a little much.
Yeah. With all that being said, last week we asked you guys what your thoughts were on the abuse.
And just to get an idea of where you were coming from, we also asked where you were from.
Yeah. And we know that we are watched in 100 and...
Last I counted, it was over like 140 countries.
So we're watched pretty much worldwide.
Pretty darn close.
On all the inhabitable continents. So damn, thanks guys.
So
we know that we could get if we actually had a much bigger subscriber count or comment section.
Or comment section, yeah.
In this one, we actually got a good load of comments though.
Yeah. So let's see, we had a couple of people that answered in from Japan. Bear Light and I Hate Mantis. But so I guess a lot of people in Japan did also think it was serious abuse, but a lot of people also thought it was just slapstick.
Yeah. It was
kind of an even split, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also found
according to I Hate Mantis anyway.
I also found it very interesting that Kuma Miko is basically in the same time slot as Cowboy Bebop would have been over here way back when.
Late night.
Well, yeah, it's in the late night time slot, where you generally get the more
raunchy stuff,
the more racy stuff.
And then I found out that Cowboy Bebop is actually a lot safer over there than it is over here.
It was marketed a lot differently in Japan than it was here. It was also a lot less popular in Japan than it is here. So,
yeah, And Bull being the
Cowboy
broadcast
Bebop
on-
itself is kind of an anomaly.
well, that's one of the all-time classics, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway,
And being broadcast on something owned by a certain TV executive from Georgia, well, was censored heavily.
Yeah.
but back to topic.
Yeah, so we had Miguel Figueres.
Yeah, we've seen you before.
Yes. Is from France, and
Miguel
Miguel said that it didn't really bother him that much.
Yeah.
See, we had a little bit of a discussion. So, Elbert Kanapi said that the show is not for kids. I don't recall if we said in the discussion that we thought it was for kids. We don't.
But
I don't think this is for kids at all.
Yeah, I mean, we'll also know it's time slotted.
Maybe in the first episode, from what I saw before we watched it, I thought that that's the kind of series that it was. I mean, not for kids, but kind of for.
Well, I think
Slice of life crowd.
before we actually started watching it, we're like, yeah, it's kind of
It
probably.
looks kind of kiddie, you know.
Yeah. And then when we saw Machi grope Natsu in the opening theme, we're like, nope,
No.
not kidding.
That was on the end of episode 1.
Bear rape. And then, so the last couple here, we had H.G. Lee, who did not say where they are from, but I definitely agree with H.G. Lee because they said that they did not feel a drop of friendliness in the physical interaction, which you generally get with slapstick abuse.
Which we got more in this episode than the last one, for sure.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes the physical violence acceptable.
Yeah.
Kind of more of a, hey, shut the hell up.
Yeah.
I totally almost punched you in the face. But, something like that. And then Fantasilion, who comments on all of our stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fantasilion.
Thank you, fan.
Said that the physical abuse scared him a little bit, too. Basically, I think most people would say that it doesn't... The one in episode 4 didn't come across as slapstick that much.
Yeah.
This one did.
This one did.
This
one was a little better.
But as savage as Hibiki's ways tend to be, they are nowhere near as savage as Natsu's imagination in the tub.
Okay, so the tub scene, the very last scene, which elicited some good reactions from us, I think. There was the part where Machi says, I can't believe somebody actually likes Yoshio.
Damn.
Ouch. Ouch, but I can see where she's coming from.
Yeah.
And then Natsu, imagining that if Machi actually went to the big city
And got a boyfriend or something.
she would just be used,
She'd just be a hooker.
basically.
Actually, there is a practice in Japan called compensated dating where schoolgirls will basically sell out their affections. It's pretty much exactly what it says on the 10.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a good thing that Natsu didn't say that out loud, though.
Right? I mean, that's the kind of shit that destroys friendships right there.
As I think back to all the horrible things I've said to you two.
And vice versa.
Why are we still friends?
Well, that about does it for this episode of Anime Reaction. As always, I'm Rizzo.
I'm Zero.
I'm DK. See you next time.
Hi everyone, Otaku Saga here, and we really hope you enjoyed this episode of Anime Reaction.
Yeah, and if you have an idea for an anime that you'd like to see us watch, leave a comment down below.
If you really like what we do, feel free to subscribe to our channel and visit our website at www.otakusaga.com.
And as always, thanks for watching.
Well done, Rizzo.
Baka.
I just ended the episode to hide my embarrassment.
Just put a motorcycle helmet on.